Hey guys, I got a question on one of my posts today from Katrina White about angry hairs on a hoof capsule. So I thought I'd make a quick little video just to explain what that means and what that should tell you as a horse owner, you know, to investigate further. So I have a little pedal bone here, pedal bone, distal phalanx, P3, coffin bone. It's got a bunch of different names, but that's the bone from inside the hoof capsule if anybody hasn't seen one. And this bone is, when it sits in the hoof capsule, it should, the coronary band, so my hand is the hoof capsule, you know, under here is where the frog would be, the sole's under the tip here. So the top of that, the coronary band, you know, should be close to this. This is called the extensor process right here, this spot here. So the top of the coronary band should be quite close to the extensor process. Now, when the bone is correct in the hoof capsule, the hairs lie flat. These fingers here are my hairs that are right next to the coronary band. So, you know, right close there. They lay nice and flat, right? When this bone sinks into the hoof capsule, so you can see there, this is my dorsal wall. When that sinks into the hoof capsule there, can you see how my coronary band would be pushed up above that bone? What happens to the hairs is this. Can you see the tips of my fingers of my right hand here? I'll do that again. What happens? The hair's laying flat. When the bone sinks, what happens to those hairs? They stand up, right? Because all of the soft tissue and whatnot is still attached to the pedal bone, as it should be, and the coronary band is pushing up into that soft tissue and standing those hairs up. So they, instead of laying nice and flat, they're sticking out and they look angry. Angry hairs is a term that I learnt at a Daisy Bicking clinic. And it really kind of resonated with me because it made sense to a few of the horses that I was trimming. So if you can imagine the pathology that's going on there is that pedal bone is sinking and those hairs are standing up. What's happening to underneath here, to your corium and everything under here, your sole? It's being squished. So as a horse owner, if you notice that your horse has got these angry hairs that stick up, I'll find a photo of one that I took fairly recently and I'll put it in the comments of this video once it uploads. If you think your horse has got angry hairs, what you need to do is you need to talk to your hoof care provider and you need to talk to your vet to possibly get some radiographs done, some x-rays, because we need to know where that pedal bone is in the hoof capsule. So your vet can actually take measurements on your radiograph, for anyone who's not familiar with that, where they measure the distance between the coronary band and the extensor process here. Okay, and the further away that is, the more deviated that is, the more of a sinker, I guess, is the term that's quite often used with a pedal bone that sinks down into the hoof capsule. But yeah, if you're noticing guard hair, if you're not noticing those angry hairs, that's what you're possibly looking at. Is quite possibly movement of that coronary band away from the extensor process. So speak to your vet, speak to your hoof care provider, and possibly get some answers. You'll quite often notice, like if I see angry hairs on a horse, it's not the only symptom of an issue. That horse is quite often a little bit footy, or a little bit sensitive over rough ground or rocks or whatever. It's quite often teamed with like thin soles and whatnot. So if you notice that your horse has got these angry hairs, definitely speak to your vet and speak to your hoof care provider. If you've got any more questions about angry hairs, please put it in the comments below and I'll try and get the answers for you. And if you are a hoof person who knows more about angry hairs than I do, or you know what else might cause them, I know that somebody else made a comment about what could cause angry hairs, please pop that in the comments below because we'd love to have a discussion about that. Thanks guys, and thank you to Katrina White for your question.